What's good, y'all? My name is Steph, and we here today with another episode of the Going Forward podcast. We here today with Coach Get Right.
Let's get it.
What's good? Clap it up, clap it
Let's
up.
get it.
He's a coach in Jersey City, and he's been in football for many years, and he's here to go talk about it. Today is draft day. Today we're recording an episode. Today is draft day, so we'll get into all of that, and we're just gonna get started. So, for everybody who don't know too much about you or who you are, how you got started, let's give a little intro about yourself.
So I'm Sylvester Wright, known as Coach Get Right. I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey. Played football since I was 7 with the Jersey City PAL Giants. Went on to play football for St. Anthony's. Also played basketball there. Fun fact: I started St. Anthony's football program, first ever football program. Went on and played college ball at Morgan State. Transferred my second season. Ended up at Kane University, graduated from there, got my degree in communications. Right after that, got straight into football, coaching at Union City High School. This would be my 7th season there.
Okay.
During that process, I also coached a year of college football at Morehead State out in Kentucky. During that process, was able to coach the New Jersey State All-Star game.
Okay.
Phil Sims, North versus South. That's how I got connected with the Morehead State job, because Phil is an alumni of Morehead State. During that time, after coaching that game, got to coach the best, the state players, North and South. So I did a good job. Coaches was like, yo, you should get into this training where you could tap into the whole new state. So that's when I started training. I've been training guys for 6 years now, going on 6 years next month. I was able to train guys in the pros like Darius Slay, Miles Hartfield, Sam Franklin, Arthur Roulette. And then also I got a guy right now who might get drafted today, Hunter Reynolds
Okay.
from Utah State, was an All-American. I got guys all over the place, all over universities like Mississippi State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, UMass, a bunch of schools. You could name it from every level, from FBS, FCS, Division II, Division III.
So you've been doing this for a minute. So how long will you say you've been doing and been an athlete?
For 23 years.
Oh, okay. So you definitely know what you're doing.
Yeah.
What inspired you to become an athlete and start with coaching and this whole journey?
So at a young age, I would say just being active. You know, growing up in Jersey City, you get caught up in a bunch of bull crap, being at the wrong place at the right time, at the wrong time. So that's what got me into playing sports. My dad too. My dad was an athlete. My whole family are athletes. I just want to stay busy, and it was a formal way to like bring my family together.
Okay.
Come see my game, support me, and whatnot. Then as far as like coaching, man, I just knew I was gonna be a coach. Playing college ball, all my teammates leaned on me, came to me for like suggestions. My coaches came to me for suggestions. I was a team captain in high school and college, and then I just knew like this is what I want to do. I want to get back to the game that gave to me.
So what motivates you more? Would you say like family, just being a leader in general? Because it sounds like you've been a leader throughout being an athlete. So
I would say my family, and then I would say being a leader. So I go by these 3 principles. My brand goes by is guide, mold, and support.
okay.
You know, so that equals get right for me. But just giving back to the game that gave to me, and then upbringing and uplifting young men. You know, they need that. I wish I had a version of me when I was in high school where guys been through it, walked it, talked it, and just stayed on me.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel that. So let's go back and more into coaching. Tell us more about that. How is that like? What? So you say you teach now in Union City that you've been doing that for 7 years. So tell us more about that. How is that like?
I would say I never worked a day in life. You know, like it's natural. You, like I say, you guiding, you molding, you supporting young men. So that's just what's my purpose in life. So I'll say coaching is just my life, man. You know, just getting up every day and making sure like I'm upbringing and uplifting a young man. That's just my goal every day, is to get somebody better.
You see yourself like staying in coaching, or do you wanna?
No, I'm definitely gonna stay in coaching, whether it's high school, college, or the pros. You know.
So how do you mold like the kids you coach? Like,
Just teaching them everyday life skills. Being polite, being respectful, teach them how to tie a tie, teach them what side the way they watch, how to build their resume, just everyday life skills. You know, in this world, in this day and age, these kids don't know about that. COVID messed these kids up. They're not active. They don't know how to talk to people. They all in the phone. It's all about everything's technology. So just teaching kids how to have everyday life skills.
do you find it easier that you're not too far away from that generation? So like I feel like us being like we were familiar with technology, but you know when we was in high school, it wasn't as like it is now. So
Right.
do you feel like you're able to connect with them a little easier
Yeah.
than like?
100%. Like my head coach is a little older, so he leans on our staff is like perfect. You have your older guys and you have your younger guys. So like he's the father and then like we like the uncles and the big
Okay.
brothers. So it works out perfect. Where you be able to touch and motivate young men, but also you can still influence the older.
So what challenges do you face with coaching?
Um, the homes. All right, so they do everything right in front of you, and then as soon as they leave you, that's the worries. Like you're like, all right, what is this kid's gonna do? What is his home life like? Cause our principles and our life skills and how we go about things might be different from their home life structure. You know, so that's the biggest battle. That and the streets, of course.
And how do y'all handle that? Like, cause like you said, you say you work mainly in Union City, but that's not too far from Jersey City. So the same problem that's in Jersey City, I imagine it's in Union City too.
Yeah.
How do that interfere on the field?
So that's why you just gotta discipline these kids. You gotta nip it in the butt right away. You just can't let them get away with things. You gotta build their schedule to where they tired. They want to go home. You gotta train them to where, all right, school, football, family. Like, if not, it can mix up. And once that mix, it's not gonna come. The results not gonna be good at all.
Yeah.
So just basically build a schedule. Like sometimes we have them work out 6 a.m. So you know you gotta work out at 6 a.m. You know you gotta be in the bed by like at least 10, 11 o'clock. If not, you won't be able to function or be at your full potential the next day. So we try to do things like that, hard workouts, and then hopefully they go home, they rest, do study hall too as well. Make sure they're doing their work.
So how do you balance that? Like just in life and then being a coach and then, you know, being there for them because at this point now you're also like a mentor too, like you said, a big
Right.
brother or uncle. So how do you manage all that?
Like I said, it's just normal to me. It's my life, you know. So I've been around this game. I've been around this sport since I was 7. So it's something that like I'm already built for. You know, I played for a legendary coach, Coach Bob Hurley. I played basketball as well at St. Anthony. So being coached by him already had me geared up for this lifestyle. You know, so I'll just say.
Like it was already meant for you,
Yeah.
meant for you to do this, so it really wasn't nothing you had to like. It was like no learning curve for you
No.
to.
But you learn every day.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you gotta coach and teach every kid differently. So that's what I learned the most in coaching.
Okay. So what been like the most challenging experience you probably say like with somebody you had to coach like? How did that go?
So for me, it was when I coached out in Kentucky. So you know when you coach out here, you're Jersey kids. When you go to coach college, you got kids from Florida, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York. You name it. So you got to deal with different type of kids, a different type of upbringing. So that was probably one of the biggest challenges, but I was able to tap in, you know, just be there for my student athletes, show them that I really care about them, spend time with them outside of football.
Okay.
And that's what made them play better for me.
And how was life in Kentucky compared to Jersey?
A whole different lifestyle. Everything's slow. You know how it can be out there when you're different.
But in the same sense, it's kind of like you kind of have more things to get into because it's slower. In a weird way, like 'cause like people like to say like, oh, you bored, so now it's like now you kind of get more into trouble. in a sense, maybe no.
I wouldn't say that. It just made me pick up different traits and different
Okay.
hobbies. Like I was
Got
out
it.
there golfing, doing things like that.
I mean more so for the
For the student athletes,
yeah.
not really. When you're a college athlete, man, that's basically a full-time job. You
So
gotta
what's the
get
life?
up.
What is the life like for them?
All right, so they might have, let's say, a normal day's schedule. So they'll have an AM lift, mandatory breakfast, go to class all day, and then usually around like 2:30 you have special teams. You have your team meeting, your special teams meeting, then your position meeting. Then you got to go out on the field, probably like 4, practice for 2 hours. After that, shower, go to study hall, and then
So they really
it
got
starts
no,
right
yeah.
back over. It's a cycle.
So how do you manage all of that too? Because now you don't have no free time because you're dealing with all this too. Like you working with them.
That's
So-
our job.
So
what
that's
we-
your job, so
Yeah,
you don't-
so you basically your free time is basically probably like 9 p.m. to about 11 p.m. Or so in college, the strength and conditioning coach run that. So you'll have your mornings. So you'll have like 6 a.m. to about 8 a.m. for a little bit of free time.
Got you. Okay. So what do you see yourself now? The future for you in coaching. What is your goals in the future of coaching for you?
Whatever God has planned for me, like I'm a coach, I'm a mentor and a trainer. So outside of my coaching, with my trainer and my mentor, I send at least, I'm on a rate right now to about 12 to 16 kids a year to play Division I football for free. So my goal is to up that number every year. This next class, my 24 class, I probably have about 18 to 22 kids going Division I. So next year, I just wanted to keep going up,
Keep
and
going up.
that's my main goal right now.
So with draft day going on today, tell us more about that.
It's a big week. The draft started Thursday night. I have a kid right now who's actually might get picked up tonight. Hunter Reynolds.
Okay.
Played at Utah State. Was an All-American. It's a nerve-wracking. You just sitting, you waiting on that call. Just hopefully, like, hey, this is it. Like, I'm set.
For people out there that don't know, what do an athlete have to do to prepare to get to the step?
Well, we briefly talked about it in college. Right now, so outside that, like my client, he had to go to Florida. He had to go train for about 2 months. So he had to get a nutrition, he had to get a strength and conditioning coach, he had to get a speed and agility coach, and then he had me as a position coach. So you actually perfecting your craft, I would say all day, 5 days out the week for 2 months.
Okay.
And then you get to that combine, you have to perform. So that's your bench, your broad, your vert, your 40. You just have to perform in front of all 32 teams that send scouts to come see you.
And how long that whole process? You said like 2 months. How long?
2 months.
And how do they manage that?
They know at the end of the day,
It's the goal they want to go for. So,
yeah,
so
I'm
they
putting
put in
all
that
my
work.
eggs in one basket. So I gotta leave all that fun time out right now for a long time life in paradise.
Word. So we talk about mental health a lot here on the show. How do that tie into on the field? Not even necessarily you as a coach, but even for the student athletes too. Like how they manage that?
They have to love it. You'll find out what guys love it and what guys don't. Like when times get rough. Like I said, in college, high school kids. I seen a lot of high school athletes who are superstars who get to college and day 3 they quit, go home. So you really gotta love it. You gotta love the process. You can't just love the game. You gotta love the process. You gotta love the grind. You gotta, this is a business at the end of the day. So like, it's like if you had a job and you don't like your job, you're not gonna want to be there. So that's how it translates into the football world.
So you consider more like even for the athletes more so like a job.
Yeah.
Than
It's definitely a job, 100% a job. So you definitely have to love your job.
Yeah.
This is what's gonna put food on the table. This is what's gonna provide for your family. So
why do you feel that some athletes quit so soon once they get into college?
it's tough times. Like you either gotta be built for this, you gotta be built for the grind. If not, it's not gonna be for you. You gonna it's I could guarantee you every athlete who plays sports second guess themselves, say, do I really love this sport? And those questions you gotta ask yourself. Those boxes you gotta check off.
How did you manage that transition from being a high school athlete to college? Now I know you said it was already kind of prepared for you because, like you said, you had Bob Hurley already coaching you in St.
Yeah.
Anthony, so you already had that prep. But
I would say the main thing is when you leaving a place, being that guy, to going to a place where it's everybody was that guy.
Yeah.
So that was hard for me probably like the first 2 weeks, but after that you started gelling with people, you started trusting your coaches, trusting your teammates. So that's what helped me out. Like I said, those guys I play with end up being like my close friends.
now you said the first school you went to,
Morgan State.
how was that compared to going to King?
So Morgan State is an HBCU, so so you're dealing with all African Americans. There was no diversity at all. So I would say that was the biggest difference. When I got to King, it was really diverse. Which, if you go into a football locker room, that'll show you like the real world. Like in baseball, you got your Hispanics. In basketball, it's mixed a little bit, but in football, you getting everything. You getting every race, you getting everything. You name it, every culture in the locker room.
So I don't really want to ask you which one you prefer better, but do you feel like how can I ask this? Maybe how was the program at your school?
The program at Morgan State was good.
Okay.
But the program at Kane was really well. The head coach been there for probably he's still there, Coach Dan Garrett. He's been there for probably 16 years. So, in the college world, it's based off of wins and losses. So it's always a new cycle. You might have a new coach every 4 years, new players in and out. But at King University, that staff been there for a while. So he knew what he was doing. He put together a good staff to produce championships.
Do you feel like that helped you now with you being
Yes,
coach? Did you take
100%.
any?
100%.
What did you take from them? What did you learn from them to help to develop the coach you are now?
Being there outside of football, when your players able to pick up the phone at any time, that's when you want them. Like they'll go to bat for you.
And how do you do that now with the athletes that you coach now? How do you try to be in there like that?
Take them out to eat, do activities with them. So I do a little activity when I was coaching college where my guys came in and I left a piece of paper on their desk. So they used to write their problems of the day and ball it up and shoot it in the trash can. So it was a tactic I used. So at the end of the day, I would go in that trash can and see what's going on. Maybe a kid had failed a test. Maybe a kid, mom is sick. So I was able to tap into them on a different level because this day and age, people have bad communication skills. Like you said, mental health too as well. So that was a way for me to be able to tap in with them.
And so that definitely helped you say build that bond and even
Trust.
Everything. Even that any issue they had mental health wise, it helped. They had somebody to talk to, so they could perform their best on the field. Word. Okay. So I like that. So what do you think that the industry as a whole? You think anything they could maybe change, maybe in college ball? And what's the likes and dislikes with that?
Right now I'll say social media. So social media is killing it right now. It's just I don't know if guys are really into it for the right reasons. They might be into it just for the clout, the hype, and what comes with it. So I would say social media, and then when we was growing up, our athletes like Ray Lewis, they were ideal guys who we looked up to. Nowadays, these guys, you don't know if you can look up to them. They in the clubs, they fighting, and they promoting the wrong things for these kids.
Okay, so do you feel like, how do you feel that, like social media, like you said just now, how do you feel like that hinder the athletes now? You feel like you said, do you feel like they in it just for the clout, for that too, or?
That's
Yeah.
where
It's hard to
it's hard
judge.
to tell. It's hard to tell. Yeah. When them tough times come, that's when you know if he was really in for it or if he was chasing the clout.
Yeah. What's one thing you like about college ball that you feel that helps with the athletes and even help with you to develop?
The biggest thing would be time management.
Okay.
You know, so if you can handle being a college athlete, you can handle anything in this world.
Okay. So now moving on from all the coaching, so let's get more into like a regular topic. We usually ask people this: what's your favorite superhero, like cartoon character? And why?
Damn, that's a good question. My favorite superhero,
Or cartoon character, either one.
I would say my favorite superhero is my dad.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like my dad is my hero. He showed me a lot. He showed me how to deal with adversity. Showed me how to never turn his back on the man, never turn your back on your family, and always be there. So, like I said, those are my principles: God, moral support. That was installed from my dad. So I would say that's my superhero.
Okay. What about like favorite cereal?
Favorite cereal? Apple Jacks.
Okay.
Apple Jacks and Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Well, so you must like something like cinnamon sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know. What you like? I think like frosted flakes. I'm like a frosted.
I fuck with the Fruity Pebbles.
I haven't had that in a minute either. Since we already talking about sports, I heard this conversation in the barbershop recently. It's kind of hard because like it's such a broad question, but top 3 athletes
All time?
all time,
Any
men,
sport.
women, any sport.
Alright. You gotta go with MJ.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. I'm gonna go for each sport. So the 3 main sports. I'm gonna go MJ for basketball. I'm gonna go Tom Brady for football, and I'm gonna go Derek Jeter for baseball.
Okay. I didn't hear Derek Jeter, so the one I heard it was MJ, Tom Brady, and Serena Williams.
She a GOAT too.
Serena Williams.
Yeah, she definitely go. Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, they all in that same.
But it's like that's what I was kind of saying. Like, it's kind of hard because it's like you have so many sports, so to say like so it's now like you kind of saying like.
I'm about to say 3 main sports.
But it's like but now I mean true main sports, but then it's like well you leaving out Kobe Bryant, you leaving
He a
out
GOAT too.
Muhammad Ali.
GOAT too.
It's-
Mayweather.
Exactly. So that also going to we just had the fight. How you feel about that fight with Tank and what's the other nigga name? The Mexican nigga?
Spanish too.
Yeah, I forget his name.
Damn, how you forget his name already? That's sad.
It be like that. See when you.
We gonna edit this out, but we gonna get his name. But Richard Garcia some shit.
Yeah, Garcia.
Yeah.
Garcia. So, it was a good fight. I lived in Baltimore, so I
Okay.
knew Tank. I knew about Tank for about 15 years now.
Okay.
Growing up, he say he a Tank, but it was a good one. I wanted to see him win. What I don't like is how they want him to fight Shakur Stevenson. Like it would be a great fight, but I like when we beat up on other people. Let them 2 be at the top and be champs, leave it like that. You know, let's beat up on everybody else.
Yeah. Do you feel like they were talking too much beforehand? Because they were talking about the winner takes all. They gonna take their pot. And
That's
shit.
just self promotion.
Yeah.
Get more views. You know, you have to do that when you're in that industry. If
Yeah.
not, then your views go down. You gotta give something for the people to see.
Another question I heard recently: Tank or Mayweather?
I'm going with Floyd.
That's what I said.
Floyd
Some
Floyd
people
smart.
said that Tank would get it though.
Floyd
I mean,
is
Tank
smart.
will like.
Floyd gonna go 12 rounds with you, right? He gonna give the people what they want to see. So you gonna get your money's worth. That's why he make more money than a lot of boxers. Floyd gonna give you 12 rounds. Other guys gonna knock you out. So you making money off how many rounds you go, how many views, how many people buying that pay-per-view. So you gotta be smart about it. He's smart, you know.
And I think Floyd, he definitely, like you said, he had a more business aspect of it compared to, I think, Tank. I'm not saying he's playing around, but, you know, Floyd, like he said, he know what he's doing. It's for money, so I feel like that might be a little difference with that. Artists that you listen to motivate you. So, for a game, weight room, who you listen to?
I listen to Meek, I listen to J. Cole, Drake, Jay-Z. It all depends on the mood for real. Like if I want to go real throwback, I'm going with Freeway, you know, Memphis Bleak, Nas. I listen to all different type of artists. It just depends. Sometimes I even don't listen to music. Sometimes I like silence.
Okay. Top 3 artists right now.
Right now, you gotta go with Drake, Chris Brown, and then I'm gonna go with a female artist, Beyonce.
Okay.
Y'all saw Swarm?
No. I seen the first episode because everybody talking about it,
Shit
but
crazy.
Crazy.
It's likely based on true events.
I heard it was something like the shorty in the show. She was like, it was like if she was crazy for Beyonce. It was like she was like
It's most of the situations are based off of things that a crazy fan did for Beyonce and a couple for Nicki Minaj.
Gotcha.
What's that song?
Who?
Hulu?
I thought it was a prom or something like that.
It's Prom.
Yeah.
You definitely have to check that out.
Okay. So you deal with like you said, coaching a lot of kids and stuff like that. So athletes, excuse me. So this is like broad topic. What's like the ultimate deal breaker in like any relationship you have, whether it be regular friendship, professional relationship, intimate relationship? Like what's a deal breaker you just can't deal with a person or somebody that you got to coach? Or what's trait that you can't like? Nah.
Just constantly lying, man. You can't tell me it's raining and you pissing on my back.
Okay.
Like,
I never heard that one before.
you just can't.
Yeah. So how do you do? Well, I know it's kind of hard, like professional aspect. You can't really like just like you want the team, but like so how do you deal with that?
Discipline. Give them drills to do, drills to do, and then just try to sit down and have a one-on-one and tell them where they went wrong at, and then if they keep occurring, then you're not on the team.
Gotcha.
Stealing, lying, those two things are the biggies.
Got it. Favorite vacation spot or like the last place you visited?
Favorite
Or
vacation
places like
spot?
you visit a lot?
Cancun is a dope spot. Jamaica was a dope spot. In Costa Rica,
Oh, that's a nice one.
great food.
That's a nice one. I heard a lot about Costa Rica. I never been out there, but Cancun was amazing.
Yeah,
Alright.
if you like real like seafood, Costa Rica be a spot for you.
True. Let's see. Last album you bought.
Shoot, it might have
Well, I
been.
mean, right now, I mean, you got Apple Music,
Music,
so
yeah.
yeah. Last album you added to your library. Let's change that up.
Damn, what was it? I think it was like Drake last album that I downloaded. I gotta check it actually. Hold up.
Will we have time?
28 minutes.
Okay.
Damn, what's the last album I downloaded? It might have been that ESTG album.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah.
It's that we from Memphis, right?
Yeah.
And he was a football player too, though.
Mm-hmm.
So how you feel about that with him transitioning from?
You gotta just find it. He probably was playing football. Was like, man, this ain't.
I heard he
funny no
was
more.
pretty good at it though. Like he wasn't bad.
It's the same thing with Plies. Plies was good at football.
Really?
too.
Pause in football? I didn't know that at all. Pause.
Who's that?
Plies.
Oh, Plies.
Yeah.
Word? I can't look at him and think what position.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all.
Plies.
All right, so moving forward, next 5-10 years, where do you see yourself? What you see yourself doing?
The next 5-10 years, maybe coaching the league or like a face of a sport brand like Under Armour, Nike, Puma, just something like that.
Okay. What team would you like to coach if you had a team in mind?
My favorite team is the Pittsburgh Steelers, so if I had a chance to coach, it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Got you. Next team. If you had to, would you continue coaching the next 5-10 years, or
For
you
sure.
think would you maneuver anything like maybe like real estate or any other entrepreneur thing?
I might do something on the side, but I definitely still coach.
Right now, you're sticking with coaching. Okay, cool. What you see for like your team going forward?
Say that one more time.
You said you're coaching right now in Union City, right? So what do you see in the next season? going
We
forward?
should win the state championship. We got there last season, lost a couple bad breaks, but we should definitely win it this year.
Okay.
The kids are more hungry, very goal oriented.
Do you feel like it helped now that like I feel like COVID is like done now, so there's no more virtual? It's like they back to full
We
time?
still dealing with it though. I think we're not gonna be able to get these kids fully back until like another year or two.
Mm-hmm.
You still dealing with those COVID issues, like far as college, like so during that season, it allowed players to get like a year or two extra. So what's happening is they're staying at those schools. So by them kids staying at those schools, let's say if you have 15 kids on your roster who has a COVID season, now that's taking 15 scholarships from high school kids. You understand? So
Okay.
it's not gonna get wiped out until the next year or two,
Got it.
and then it'll be a full cycle of back to normal time.
And you feel like that the COVID is to affect you say like current high school players now?
Yup.
Got you. So how is that dealing with that? Like they
So what's happening is like these kids will end up dropping. So like, let's say if you was a group of 5 kid, you'll end up dropping to a smaller Division I school because of those effects. Or let's say if you was a Power 5 kid, but they have some COVID kids still on their roster, now you'll end up at a group of 5. So what's happening is these kids will go into those schools performing well and then transferring out and going up.
do that help them or not? That's not really
It's not really helping because the numbers is taken away from high school kids. So let's say if you was at a group of 5 school and you performed and went to a Power 5 school, let's say if I had a high school kid who was trying to get recruited by a Power 5 school, now you just took that scholarship from them. You see how it's working?
Yeah, because they went to the other school and got it. What's one thing you want people to know about you and or the athletes you coach?
I'm for the people. I'm just for the people, ready to just uplift kids. You know, you leave your kid with me, he gonna leave out as a man.
Word. And anything they might not know about you that you want people to know, maybe.
I think I do a good job of just letting people know who I am from the door. So I wouldn't say they don't really know nothing about me. Just knowing the kid gonna leave here successful.
Got you. What's one thing you want people to know about? Yeah, I know you said they're gonna leave out a man, but as an athlete, what's one thing you want them to know about the kids you coach?
I put 100% into those children, into those athletes. Like I said, I'm gonna push you as much as you allow me to push you.
Word. Alright, so you got any other questions you wanna add in or?
Yeah, when was alright, so you started off as an athlete. What's something that a coach did to you, maybe and they thought that they was doing the right thing, that you as an athlete, you like, damn, why coach on it like that? What's something that you took and you applied that you learned from your coach, and what's something that you was like, nah, I gotta take this out of the
So in college, my defensive coordinator, I think I had one bad play, and he never gave me the chance to snap out of it. Like he just pulled me. So he never gave me that second chance to go prove myself. So that's one thing I would never do. Like if a bad play happened, I'm gonna sit you down, I'm gonna coach you up, and I'm gonna explain to you like where you went wrong at, and I'm gonna give you another shot at it to prove yourself.
Gotcha.
But something that has stuck with me was just being there for that athlete outside of football. That definitely stuck with me.
The main question. So, if you could just share a moment where you're already a coach, so you're coaching, your career's where it's at. Did you ever just stop and be like, damn, I don't know if I should keep doing this? Or did something happen that made you question, like, damn, am I a good coach? Am I a coach? Like,
When I was out in Kentucky, the head coach there didn't really value the things I value. You know, he had a wife and kids at home, and he never like spent time with his family. Like, I'm a big family person, so I'm like, we're gonna work, and then I'm gonna be there for my family, you know. His mindset was work, and never made time for his family. I visit other schools where they work and they have time for their family, so that was just like one of my biggest concerns, and I was just like, I don't know if I belong at this university because we don't value the same things.
Gotcha. So it wasn't really you questioning you actually coaching, it was just the space and the environment at the time.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, because it don't seem like nothing could really take you off that path. So like, nah, I ain't gonna coach.
Yeah. Only thing may stop me from coaching if I have a bunch of kids and they need
God
me.
willing, that happen too.
You know? But I'll still find some time to be around the game.
Well, that kind of ties into another question I did have earlier. I know you said the main thing that you developed doing St. Anthony's was time management. But how do you manage that time with, people people in your personal relationship that you have other relationships with? So how do you manage that time, with them? Like you said, you want to have family time, and you also have time for work. So
Yeah.
how do you handle both of those?
You just basically got to plan ahead. Like, that's why I like when I'm at a place or a university or a school where they give you a schedule in advance.
Okay.
So let's say if I know next week I got workouts until 4. Like, alright, cool. I know I got time after 4 to hang out with somebody, go grab food, go visit my grandmother, whatever. You know, you gotta plan ahead.
So you have to, like you said, manage your time management. That's really what
Yeah.
goes into
Nah, definitely. I guess one thing that I was curious about too was what was it like? If you could just walk us through real quick before we wrap it up. Your last game, I guess the last game you played as an athlete, and did you know like, dang, this is my last game, I'm about to coach after this, or like, can you just walk us through that?
Alright, so my last game, my last season, I got hurt in college, so I played the first 4 games, and then
Corner, right?
yeah,
Corner.
so I played the first 4 games, and then I sprained my MCL, so I was out for 3 weeks. During that time, I knew I was gonna be a coach, cause I had to shift gears from everything physically to mentally. So now I'm breaking film, I'm watching film with my guys, watching film with my teammates, preparing them to excel during those 3 weeks. So right then and there, I was just like, alright, my body's done, but now I got it up here. I definitely I want to be a coach. And right there in that moment, I had the Facebook message. The high school coach at Union City right now, Coach Wilbur Valdez, and I was like, dude, I definitely want to coach. Cause we used to practice on the same field downtown Jersey City. He was coaching at first at the time. He was so fiery. He was getting after the kids. And I was just like, yo, I know I can't play for him, but I definitely would love to coach with him. And I sent him that message. And he was like, come see me right after the season.
That's dope because that takes, especially being a young man, knowing that you can execute, knowing that you can excel. It takes a lot to sit down and be like, let me put this energy into my other teammate. You get what I'm saying? Because you doing that, y'all the same age, y'all peers. You probably took him from 3rd string. Now I can be 2nd string. I can be 1st string. So that is fire though, bro. Like, and we're honored to have you here as young as you are, as a young coach, just to see where you're gonna be at the next couple of years, and we're gonna have you come back when you at a university. When you at draft day and you drafting your players to your NFL team or your own league or whatever the case may be. So we definitely do appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Sure. So let's you said you're done. We wrap it up. All right. So before we wrap this up, anything else you want to add in before we go leave today?
When you open your eyes, when your feet hit the ground, just take off. Put your best into whatever you do daily. That's it.
I like that. And also let people know your Instagram, socials, how to contact you.
I'm on Twitter, Coach Coach_Get Right, and then I'm on Instagram, CoachGetRight_FBF. Follow me.
Alright. Well, again, my name is Steph. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Going Forward podcast. I definitely want to thank Coach Get Right for coming in today. Also want to thank Studio AGB for this great studio space we have here. Also, shout out to Potent Clothing for the clothing. We definitely going to show that out the next episode. We out here today. Let's watch out for the next episode. Peace.
Let's get it.